And good morning. Welcome to Sports Talk. Glad to have you with us. David Keever along with Mike Powell, Brett Keever. Sun coming up. Beautiful, crisp fall morning.
48 degrees driving up here.
48.
I feel alive.
We did it to 30s right when we first got this cool streak. I think we hit the 30s, 39, 38 maybe one morning, but pretty average right now. Not been too bad. Could definitely use some rain, though. Goodness.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of dust.
My grass seed's still yearning for moisture.
Well, plenty of sports to talk about this morning.
Well, we said it before. October is Rocktober when it comes to sports. It's really a sensory assault. I mean, you can't keep up with everything.
A sensory assault.
Yeah, well, think about it. Baseball playoff. Overload. Sensory overload. The ball says.
It's
yes.
good.
Yeah.
I like it.
And the NBA started this week, too, for added measure.
And the Hornets have already won a game.
Yeah.
2.
Look at that. 2? Are they 2-0? 2-1? 2. I don't even know how many they played. Couldn't play more than 3, obviously, at this point.
No. I don't think anybody's played more than 2. They're 2-0.
2-0. Quit now. We got baseball playoffs to talk about. One series ended last night. One series could end tonight. Brett's hoping not. That his Dodgers can
Your series
repeat.
ended last
My
night.
series ended last night. Somebody asked me, I've been asked the question, what happened to the Red Sox? And I said, well, it took Amazon, Red Sox were up 2-1. It took Amazon 3 days to get the Astros their new electronic equipment in. And once it finally got there, they
rolled.
They rolled over those next. Nah, Red Sox just hitting collapsed. Most time when you see teams scoring runs in baseball and you get 3 or 4 guys hot and they carry the team, Boston had all 9 hitters hot at one time.
Mm-hmm.
Guess what? Boston had all 9 hitters cold for the remaining 3 games of the series. I think now somebody have to do the math, Brett. I'm not going to count on Mike. Somebody have to do the math. If I'm not mistaken, Boston scored 1 run in the last 26 innings of the series.
Yeah, and they were shut out last night.
They were shut out last night. You can add that one, Mike. That's 0 in 9.
Yeah, that's right. 26 innings.
1 run in 26
because
innings.
game 4, they scored their 2 runs in the first inning.
So they really can't blame that on electronics because the electronics really just helped the hitters. When Houston got accused
And supposedly
of the
it was only
issues.
in Houston that
Only
they
in Houston?
were cheating. So
Well,
they won 2 big games in Boston.
I've got my doubts that the Astros were the only major league team doing such a thing, but they are the only one that got caught.
Yeah.
So, like them, hate them, whatever. I got no. They just knocked my team out, but I got no issue with them really.
Well, now, is this
That would not make me pull against them. I'll put it that way.
Is this not going to be their 3rd time in the series in the last 5 years? Or am I wrong on that?
Well, they won one.
They won one, and were they in another one?
Did they lose one?
That's what I can't figure out.
I don't think they made it back.
Okay. But let's just say they.
What year was it that they won? Because Sports Illustrated did an article.
They won it in 17.
That said the Astros
17.
will win this World Series in 5 years.
In 18.
I guess that was done in 12, and they did win it in 5 years.
In 18, the Red Sox beat the Dodgers. And then in 19, the Nationals beat.
That's right.
It wasn't Houston. It was Houston. Yeah, they did beat Houston.
Yeah,
How odd does that look now?
So they have been there 3
the
times.
Nationals, the Nationals won it doesn't look as odd as Florida Marlins winning 2, I don't guess, but it just seems kind of odd that some of these teams are what you call maybe one-hit wonders. They rise to the top, win a World Series, and overnight they're gone.
Can't say that about Houston. That's like
Houston is low.
Well, the Nationals at the time, they were a pretty good team that got really hot at the right time. And I think that's kind of what the Braves are doing right now.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think the Braves are a great team, but they've gotten hot at the right time.
And that's what counts.
Yeah.
The Braves
That
won
is what counts.
85 regular
I think it was
season?
88.
88. I mean, that's
I think
not-
they had the fewest wins of all
Yeah, they
the
did.
playoff teams.
They didn't even get to 90. which is sort of like bottom line. You know, if you're going to be a playoff caliber team,
They're over 90 now.
yeah.
Say, look at us now. And like Brett said, they are getting timely hitting, good pitching, you know, good bullpen work. I mean, and, you know, a lot of times it's just getting on that roll and that momentum and, you know, just and they have some of that going right now. But it's got to be in their mind. It's got to be in their mind.
Dodgers
3-1 lead last year.
Yeah.
You know, they lost a 3-1 lead last year. But now last year they did play the final two in L.A., right?
No. It was neutral. Neutral
that's
site.
right.
It was in
Neutral
Texas.
Site. Neutral site. I keep forgetting about that neutral site. That's so weird. But
But still, it wasn't. You know, it wasn't 2 home games like
Right.
it's going to be.
Yeah, this year two games in Atlanta, which will make it tougher on the Dodgers for sure. To compete.
And then I saw the
come back.
news last night that Max Scherzer was scratched from tonight's start due to arm fatigue.
Don't you love
So
that? As a
going to make it
Dodger
even
fan.
harder on the Dodgers, who
So
just
who will-
just had a bullpen game in
Is
Game
that what
5.
they're doing again?
It's I would guess it's either that or start Bueller on short rest. But
What you
the
know
way
what
I
they
see
say.
it, just start with just throw the bullpen again and try to out-hit the Braves. And
But the old saying is, don't try to get to Game 7 with your best pitcher on the bench. You know what I mean? Saving. You know,
well, Bueller
don't
just
save it.
pitched
But
the
I
other
do
day, and
understand
he
that.
didn't pitch well.
I
So
do
I don't know if
understand
that is their best option.
And I also understand the rest issue too. I mean, if you really know that this guy's going to take the mound and not be as effective because
Yeah.
he's on short rest, then it's, you know, to me it's a no-brainer. Just let him sit one more day. But yeah,
if he had pitched 4 days ago and been dominant, I would say go ahead and pitch him tonight. But he wasn't. He didn't look good. I think he needs that extra day.
Yeah. Lenny says the Nats did beat Houston in 19 7-game series. The road team won every single game. And that may have been a first. I remember that now that he said it. I wouldn't have thought of that, but I do remember that the road team won every game, which is very rare to see in any sport. I guess we should really the first thing we talk about is the Braves and the Dodgers. You know, a lot of people have seen 5 o'clock or 5:07 start or whatever. It's been changed. Brett said when he came in that since there's no Game 7 in the American League, he reminded me of that. You know, that the Braves Dodgers now will start at 8:07, something like that, whatever it is that they do there. So a prime time start now for the Braves and Dodgers tonight, which will compete with all that great college football today. It's kind of a slow
Although
day.
we don't have, do we have any matchups of 2 top 25 teams in the entire slate?
Well,
But there are some good matchups like Iowa State, Oklahoma State. That's a good one. There's a few. Alabama, Tennessee.
how much of Iowa State and Oklahoma State will you see today?
Probably 0.
So,
You know,
I just wondered.
But Oklahoma State is
Oklahoma State's undefeated.
They are undefeated.
They're ranked 8th, and they're a 7-point underdog at Iowa State.
Yeah.
Iowa State's 4-2.
And when they play Oklahoma, they'll be a 25-point underdog.
I don't think
Yeah, I don't know.
spread will be that much now.
Okay, so they'll lose by 25. And maybe they won't be a 25-point underdog, but they'll lose by 25 points.
No, they beat Baylor in Texas the last 2 weeks.
That is good.
Their last 2 games.
One of those was on the road, right?
Yeah, they've
Texas
owned Texas at Texas. I think the Mullets won like 5 straight at Texas.
How about that?
There's a couple other good ones. I mean, you got on the West Coast, you got Oregon versus UCLA. That has implications.
Yeah, that may be. Now you asked about any. I'm just glancing here to see if there are actually any ranked teams playing each other.
Yeah, 2 ranked teams playing each other. I think is what I was trying to say.
Just glancing, I don't see that.
No,
I
it
do
doesn't
not
look
see
like
that.
No, I think
But-
that was the theme of the day.
But you are right about that one being a good matchup. You know, I mean, when the season started, you might have thought Ohio State, Indiana, Indiana would be a game.
Indiana's been a
Indiana
flop.
has been a flop. Southern Cal, Notre Dame.
That's always a big one for me.
yeah,
How about Ole Miss, LSU? No.
that could be the most.
I think that'll be a good
entertaining
game.
Most entertaining game.
Oh,
of
yeah.
the day. What time is that one?
Is that
That's
that
a 3:30
typical
game.
3:30 slot for CBS?
Is it?
I'm just
Yeah, it is.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. For some reason, I had in my mind, and I guess it's too early for this to happen. I thought I heard some people talking about Georgia, Florida being today, but that's not the case, right?
The world's greatest.
Georgia doesn't
outdoor
play
cocktail
today.
party.
Okay, Georgia's off.
Yeah,
today.
they're off. There's a couple teams off.
Who I think has emerged as the best
It's
team in
next
the
week.
country. Now, whether they can live up to it when the playoffs roll around, only time will tell. But it is next week.
Yeah, next week looks great.
I'd like to go to that game one time in Jacksonville. Just to enjoy the atmosphere and see the.
Let me go on record that I did pick Pitt today.
Lanny picked Pitt today. Does that mean they're playing Clemson? Okay. Well, I would pick the home team, and it is
Clemson is a
Pittsburgh,
3-point dog.
Yeah. That's the only in a game that I consider that would be a close matchup. I usually go with the home team, and since Pitt is at home, I had to go back and look at my picks to see, but I do think I picked Pitt.
Well,
and that might be the first time.
When was
I
the
picked
last
Clemson
time
to lose.
Clemson was a pregame dog in an ACC game? I wonder how far you have to go back to find that.
Florida State days.
Yeah.
Yeah, when Florida State was good.
Well, were they an underdog at Notre Dame
Back
last year
in-
when they didn't have Trevor Lawrence?
Well, that might be. I didn't think about
I
that.
don't really count
That's a research question.
Yeah.
That's a research question. I don't know.
Yeah, without Trevor Lawrence in that game, they may have been a dog, but
Yeah, I don't even know how you can find. You can probably find it.
Yeah.
I mean that is
Just,
you can find about
ask
anything you
Google.
want to find. Number 2, Cincinnati. Are they legit?
Yeah, I think so.
They got everything it takes. Will they be in the playoffs? I asked you guys this last week. If it ended
Yes,
today,
they
Yeah,
will.
oh yeah, they're in.
yeah, they'd have to be in right
If
now.
they beat SMU, they're only
That's not my question.
If it ended today, yes.
Yes.
Would they be in the playoffs?
And if they go undefeated, yes.
Now you can tell me what it takes. What will it take for them to assure themselves?
They just have to beat SMU. That's really the only blimp left.
So you're saying they don't have to win the other games?
Well, they have to win them all.
If
of
they lose
course.
one game, they're done, right?
Oh,
No
yeah.
chance.
Yeah.
One game, no matter who it is.
No matter who it is. Even if it's SMU. Sorry about that.
Hey,
Yeah, they got 6 games left. They got to win them all.
Got to win them all. And
SMU just looks to be their only challenge.
I got you.
Yeah,
I got
but
you.
I think they could
I mean,
stub their toe.
SMU 7-0.
Would Cincinnati have a chance as a one-loss team if there's
No chance.
none? Even if all 4 teams that get in are one-loss
Yeah.
teams.
No, I don't think so.
Just checking,
The thing that's helped them is
because their loss is going to be a bad loss if they lose one.
Well, SMU wouldn't be a bad loss, but I mean, I think that would put SMU ahead of them.
It'd be a worse loss than like a Georgia losing to Alabama or a
If SMU's undefeated and they
or
beat
Ohio
Cincinnati,
State losing to
then
Michigan.
Cincinnati's chances are done.
Yeah.
SMU would be the team that you'd be talking about.
Wow. Must have got their financial situation in order down in Mustang country. Cincinnati Navy. Cincinnati at Navy today at high noon. Oklahoma at Kansas. Whew, what a challenge.
here's the big question.
good basketball
here. Will
matchup.
Spencer Rattler get to play in mop-up time? The
Heisman
Trophy favorite
Yeah.
going into the season.
Yeah, and now you just wonder if he's going to get any playing time.
And everybody started looking at his tweets and stuff and some of the social media things, trying to get some evidence that he might be ready to transfer.
Is that the biggest spread of the day? Have you seen a spread?
38.5.
38.5.
Last year was 62-9.
They covered last year. I don't even know what it was, but they covered last year. 2016 Clemson, Louisville, Lamar Jackson was the last time they were an underdog.
Okay.
How about that?
ACC.
Yep.
Did they win?
To an ACC team. 2016? I don't know. That's a good. I don't know. But speaking of Lamar Jackson, though, he's become the stud in the NFL all of a sudden, and we'll get into that in a little bit. They are looking really good and really strong as a contender in Baltimore. Northwestern at Michigan. Michigan number 6 in the country. That's on Fox at noon. Penn State on ABC at noon against Illinois. See, you got all these ranked teams, and they're playing teams, like you said, they're playing teams that they are just heavily favored over today. Wake Forest, I'd beware a little bit if I was going into Army.
Yeah,
play.
that's a good matchup.
Yep. A lot of Vegas gold and black in that game today with the number 16 Deacons.
What if Wake Forest goes undefeated?
Yeah.
Put them in.
They have a game.
Well, if they go undefeated, they're the ACC champion.
They got to go to North Carolina and to Clemson still.
They won't go undefeated.
I doubt it.
No.
And they play NC State at home.
They may not win either of those, but they'll definitely. I shouldn't say definitely, but I would put the odds against them winning both.
Mm-hmm.
Both road games, the Carolina game and the Clemson game. I don't think they can win both of those, especially on the road. Arkansas, are they going to get back on track? They've got a non-conference game. They've lost 2 straight to SEC opponents. Now they play Arkansas Pine Bluff. That's a much-needed break for the Razorback. I mean, really. I mean, the schedule's brutal for them.
I can't even find them. Did they drop out of the top 25?
They dropped out. They have no number beside their name. Who was it last week that got them? Ole Miss?
Ole Miss.
Yeah.
No, Arkansas. Auburn.
Auburn, that's right.
It was Ole
That's
Miss
Auburn.
2 weeks ago.
Okay. Yeah, they've
They lost 3 in a row.
Oh, wow.
That's why they're out of the top
wonder they're
25.
out. Alabama.
Georgia, Ole Miss,
Georgia, yeah.
Auburn.
David, you didn't
Tough
get,
stretch.
how about Friday's scores?
We'll get there.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you guys started talking about games today, so I just
That's
continued
true.
with
That's fine.
games.
Arkansas
Yeah.
still got LSU and Alabama to look forward to.
Oh, good Lord.
They could finish under 500.
Yeah, and probably will. Just some more of the highlights or lowlights, whatever way you want to look at it. Just ACC game. You got Syracuse at Virginia Tech. You got Wisconsin going to Purdue. Purdue pulling off the big win last week, knocking off number 2 Iowa. They're primed for an upset when you win a game like that. And Wisconsin's really struggled this year, which a lot of people didn't see coming. But this is prime. I mean, this is perfect opportunity to pull off an upset with Purdue coming off a big win like that. Oklahoma State at Iowa State. Mike Powell said he'll be glued to the. Is that what he said, Brett? He'll be glued to the two.
Yeah, 3 o'clock's 3:30 start on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess it's one of those things. I will say this: Oklahoma State may have the best defense
That they've had in a while.
and I mean in the conference, the best defense in the conference. So
yeah, they've been.
Well, both of these teams like to run the ball, and they both play good defense.
yeah, which is odd for that conference.
Yeah, if you
I
like
know.
old school kind of football, then this should be a good game.
I get tired. I mean, honestly, I've watched some of these college games, and they wound up, 52-49 and stuff like that. I don't know. I kind of get burnt out on that.
Yeah.
With it being last team has the ball is gonna win. I like to see some defense. So maybe I'll check it out. Maybe I'll check it out some. 3:30 on Fox is that one. Mike's already mentioned number 10 Oregon at UCLA.
And by the way,
Who's the best team in the Pac-12?
I don't think we know.
I mean, it's
Stanford's had some big wins.
nobody's emerged, right? I mean, nobody's. At the beginning I thought Oregon was, but then Oregon loses to. Help me here.
Stanford.
Stanford's
played well.
Oregon's got the best win. They've won at Ohio State, but they hadn't looked great since then.
No, they have not.
They only beat Cal by a touchdown last week.
At number 10 with a loss, what's their chances of getting in the playoff? Slim to none.
Yeah,
well,
I
they
think
have the best road win, and they may have the best win in the country, or the best road win anyway.
And you're talking
over
about
Ohio State.
And you're talking about the Ohio State win, who has moved up to number 5 again.
Which helps Oregon
with a legitimate shot of making the playoffs with a loss, is Ohio State. But
yeah, I think Oregon's got a chance.
Do you?
But they're going to need some teams to lose.
What is the over/under on LSU and Ole Miss today? 100?
At least 85.
76 and a half.
76 and a half. I'll take over. I'll take over on that one. These two teams can move the football, and they both struggle to stop opponents. So I feel like a 85 coming on there.
Ole Miss has the 220th ranked defense in the country. LSU not much better, 191.
Can you name the teams ahead of them?
Yeah.
Just start naming. You're bound to hit them. Oh, man. Clemson at Pitt today. Pitt ranked number 23 in the country. Lanny said he picked Pitt, and I think I did too on our little contest that we do each and every week. But I'll tell you this: it wouldn't surprise me if Clemson goes in there and wins, just because Pittsburgh's so inconsistent. When they're supposed to win, they don't, and then when they're the underdog, they seem to pull off upsets. They're just very inconsistent.
Right.
Maryland and Minnesota, that's one that Mike will be watching right there. He's a big Terps fan.
Another 3:30 game.
Another 3:30 game. Colorado at California. I would be more inclined to watch that game if it was played in Boulder because of the scenery in Boulder. BYU at Washington State. BYU's kind of fell off the radar now with a couple losses after being ranked in the top 10, weren't they, at one time?
Yep.
But a couple losses knocked them out. Mississippi State, Vanderbilt. Poor old Vanderbilt. Not a very good squad this year and has to play an SEC schedule, and that's not a good combination. Boston College at Louisville. Louisville heavy favorite here. Boston College is kind of hard to figure too, but
5.5.
5.5 is all
Yeah.
playing at home. Wow. East Carolina at Houston. Tennessee at Alabama. What's Alabama's spread in this one? Playing the Vols at home. The Vols,
25.
2 weeks in a row, Tennessee scored 28 in the first quarter, and then they've kind of fizzled.
Well, what it tells you is Josh Heupel, given the massive transfers out of UT last year, Oklahoma got two of their best players. I know that. I think he's done a good job. I mean, they've been fun to watch. They've scored some points. Now, they hadn't produced a lot of W's.
All I saw
think they
last
found their
week
coach.
was
I
the
think they found
fans
their coach.
throwing
He's good.
stuff
Yeah.
onto the field, but I never saw what happened that made them so upset.
I think
lost.
It was a call.
Was it,
Bad call.
It was a bad call.
They lost.
I didn't know if they just hated Lane Kiffin that much,
Well, they hate him, but
They do that too.
or what it was.
I think it was the bad call that triggered.
What was it they were throwing because he caught? Was it a golf ball?
There was a golf ball,
Yeah,
he caught
bad
one.
call.
Had a souvenir.
a bottle of mustard was one of the things.
Yeah.
What did that indicate?
I don't know. I think they were just looking for anything
That somebody was eating
anything they
brats
could
in the stands.
launch
or-
onto the field.
Yeah, and
Number 22, San Diego State. How about that? Going to Air Force. Number 24.
Brady Hoke, undefeated.
Is
at
that where
San
he's
Diego
at?
State.
How about that? How about that? Man can still coach. Didn't forget how, did he?
Yeah.
Number 24, Texas San Antonio. Do you guys think I wouldn't know that? I hope I'm right. At Louisiana Tech. They are ranked number 24 in the country, and I don't know what that thing is over there. That's their mascot.
Roadrunner.
Is it a Roadrunner?
Yeah.
Okay, that would have been my guess. But it's kind of hard to see on this small screen here.
7-0.
7-0. How about that? Wonder what their best win is.
They beat Illinois. I don't know if that's their best. They beat Memphis.
That's probably their better one. I consider that better than Illinois. Temple going to South Florida. Ohio State at Indiana. That's a 7:30 game tonight. That just does not seem appealing to me at all.
No.
That's the ABC game. They're hurting right there.
That's not a good ABC primetime.
They're going to
game.
have Ohio State fans and a few Indiana fans watching, and that may be it.
Yeah.
Especially with Southern Cal Notre Dame on. Even if both teams were unranked, that would be a good draw. Just
well,
because
next
of
week they get Ohio State again, but that time it's
Michigan?
Penn State.
Penn State.
Yeah.
Yeah, Michigan's still a ways away, but that'll be good. Where at though?
Ohio State.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Michigan and Michigan State next week too.
That'd be good too.
How about the storied USC Notre Dame rivalry?
Wonder how that one stands all time.
I just looked it up last night.
Did you?
Notre Dame's ahead by like 10 games.
Are they?
I think it was like 37 and 25, 37 and 27, something like that.
All right, Brett Younger. I'll ask him first. What's your first memory of watching those games?
Notre Dame USC.
I think it was like 89 or 90 they met, and they were number 1 and number 2.
Okay.
Um,
Now, can you name a player?
I remember Tim Brown having a big play. Might have been a punt return that kind of won the game for Notre Dame.
I remember that game.
I can't remember what year it was, but I know it was Tim Brown returning a punt.
Well, he did a lot of those. But yeah.
Him
I
and
do
then
remember.
Rocket Ismail.
Rocket was another good return.
Those were two of the first players I remember
Mine is Anthony Davis. My first memory of watching, and I can't remember. Mike, you can tell me the year probably there. I know it was in the 70s. But Anthony Davis was a great running back and return man for Southern Cal, and he returned 2 kickoffs for touchdowns, I think, in a game against Notre Dame, and Southern Cal won that game. And that's just that's the one.
Of course, I go back
a
little further.
Well, I know you do, and I can probably if you
remember OJ playing against the Fighting Irish.
How about that? That's
72, 71.
Yeah. If you could probably take me back a few years before the Anthony Davis thing and tell me about a game, and I might remember it. Especially when you used to be able to watch Notre Dame playback on Sunday mornings. Remember when they did that with Lindsey Nelson's? And so, you got to follow Notre Dame pretty close. But, yeah, just Anthony Davis, I just remember him being the superstar.
These teams
never panned out in the NFL, though.
As these teams started playing in 1926, started playing each other. They missed a couple years during World War II. And then last year was the first time they didn't play since World War II.
And why
because
was that?
of COVID.
COVID, okay. Yeah, didn't think about that. So Mike did not cover the 1926.
They played each other 73 straight years until last year.
Wow.
And at all time, it's
I think I'd have found a way to play.
Notre Dame leads 47-37 and 5 ties.
Competitive series.
Just a really good series.
And there's been a lot of runs. USC won 8 in a row in the early 2000s when Pete Carroll was there. The two teams combined for 181 All-Americans,
181 All-Americans,
87 College Football Hall of Famers, 25 Pro Hall of Famers.
Wow.
13 and 12.
Wow, that's close.
Most players drafted. USC 502, Notre Dame 495. That's the two schools with the most.
Huge gap.
Yeah.
That's pretty
and
impressive.
22 national titles between
22
the two
national titles. Yeah. Great rivalry. I'll try to watch some of that.
That's always my favorite game of the year. Yeah.
Let's go on through the schedule. We're going to need to take a timeout. South Carolina goes to Texas A&M. South Carolina does not look good. Now, they squeaked by Vanderbilt last week, wasn't it? 1 point that they beat Vanderbilt.
Yeah, but does Texas A&M, was that a trap game for them?
No, no, Mike. I don't know. They're just way better than South Carolina right now.
Yeah. Well, it's been 2 weeks since they beat Alabama now. So.
And Jimbo reportedly headed to LSU.
They beat
rumors.
Yeah.
He had a press
Why would he do that?
conference.
I mean,
I don't know.
I don't even know why he left where he was at Florida State.
In his press conference,
for the big check.
In his press conference, he mentioned the fact that he's got ranches, not a ranch, in Texas, but ranches that he would have to give up.
Well, with that paycheck he got, he can afford ranches.
Yeah.
NC State at Miami, number 18 NC State. I'm going to tell you right now, Miami pulls off the upset. Going to knock off NC State today.
Yeah, that would be good for Manny Diaz because he's starting to fill the hot seat.
If it is much of an upset, Georgia Tech. It's just matchups and these teams. Miami never plays good against Carolina, but they always play good against State. So it's just the matchups, and it just makes me think that after they lose to Carolina last week, now they're at home playing State. They're not going to lose that one. They're going to beat NC State.
Miami. And
you can laugh at me tomorrow or next Saturday when I'm in here when I'm wrong, but I just feel like Miami wins that game. Gut feeling.
Is there any ACC team that finishes undefeated?
Any ACC team that finishes undefeated?
You got State.
I don't see how.
You got State and Wake Forest.
Yeah. No, there's not.
Miami's 2-4.
Miami's 2-4.
Their 2 wins are App State and Central Connecticut State.
Yeah. They probably should have won that one, and they did. Georgia Tech at Virginia, West Virginia at TCU. I don't know what the appeal is, but I just always love watching West Virginia play. But now I like to watch them play more at home in Morgantown.
They have a great home atmosphere.
Great atmosphere at home, set in the mountains as well. Utah at Oregon State. I thought that was one of my tougher ones to pick right there. And New Mexico State at Hawaii. We got to take a timeout. We're going to have a call-in guest
Ooh.
when we come back.
Untangling your headphones, finding the right remote, saying goodbye to your favorite shirt that hasn't fit in 10 years. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who live in your community and answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like finding a new favorite shirt. That's simple human sense.
Call Mooney Insurance in Maiden or East Lincoln Insurance in Denver or visit mooneyinsurance.com. Times convenience stores are more than convenient. They're your neighborhood store, your store. With locations in Lincoln, Catawba, Gaston, Iredell, and Mecklenburg counties, there's one near you. Times convenience stores have the right items at the right price, from snacks, cold drinks, and light meals from the grill, and there's always a special to save you time and money. Times has what you need. Times convenience stores, there's one near you. Regardless of where you're going, there's one on your way. Remember, there's always time to stop by Times. Have you thought about when you would like to retire? One of your major assets is planning for retirement is time, and you lose a little of it each day. The longer you wait to start accumulating capital for retirement, the harder it's going to be. How should you plan for retirement? Start by calculating approximately how much capital you will need at retirement, then estimate how much you will have to put away each year. Finally, carefully choose the investments in which you will invest. Stifel Nicholas can assist you. Call Fort Rembert today at 828-624-7300. Stifel Nicholas, member SIPC, and the New York Stock Exchange. First Federal Savings Bank has been serving Lincoln County since 1940. And as it has been from the beginning, customer service is a priority to First Federal Savings Bank. They want to get to know you by name. First Federal Savings Bank has the convenience, the products, and the services that the larger banks have, but with hometown people that you see throughout your community. Stop in and visit one of their 4 convenient locations and see what First Federal Savings Bank has to offer you. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Whether it's a sit-down meal or a call-in for the drive-thru, Brookwood Cafe and Catering is the answer. A variety of meats, vegetables, and desserts cooked daily, or a hot sandwich from the grill, they have what you're looking for to satisfy your taste buds. If you need catering from 5 to 500, Brookwood has you covered as well. Stop by Brookwood Cafe and Catering at 202 Providence Mill Road in Maiden. Don't forget breakfast daily till 11 a.m. Open Tuesday 6 a.m. to 2 p.m., Wednesday through Saturday 6 a.m. till 8 p.m., and Sunday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Call 828-428-8944 to place your order today.
Covenant Church began as a vision of just over 100 people in 1984. Since then, Covenant Church has grown and currently located at 2168 Gastonia Highway in Lincoln. The Sunday schedule includes early morning worship at 8:30, Sunday school at 9:45, and morning worship at 10:45. Their ministries extend beyond Sunday. Visit their website at www.covenantchurch.church to see all they have to offer, and better yet, stop by and see for yourself. Covenant Church may be just what you're looking for a new church home.
If you ask around, you'll find Burke Mortuary has a reputation for excellence and commitment to value. They've built a reputation of trust for more than 35 years. Burke Mortuary is proud to offer personal attention, meaningful tributes, and the area's most affordable prices. They're also proud to offer you beautiful, state-of-the-art facilities. It's the perfect place to honor your loved one. So when choosing a funeral home, the choice is easy. Choose Burke Mortuary with locations in Maiden and Newton.
In the best of times, no one is more deserving of every opportunity, encouragement, and support than the youth in our communities. Parents, teachers, coaches, and sponsors struggle to stretch their budgets to continue help. Communities need a team effort. Times Oil Corporation, a longtime member of the community, established the Times Educational Alliance Mission, or Team Foundation. Since 2011, over $125,000 in grants have been donated in the community. Times Oil and the Team Foundation are proud to be community partners.
And welcome back to Sports Talk. David, Mike, Brett with you on a Saturday morning, beautiful Saturday morning outside. It was kind of chilly this morning when I took my 3-mile run. I don't know what you guys did or how you guys.
Was that a run from your car to the garage or to the?
Well, the reason I bring up 3 Mile Run is we have a guest on the line with us, and
nice lead in.
Yep.
Yeah.
I can't remember the last time I ran 3 miles unless something was chasing me. But Rick Mitchum, coaches girls cross country at West Lincoln, wanted to talk a little bit about his team this year. They won the conference championship, and wanted to brag on his girls, and we allow that and we welcome that every single chance we get. And how are you this morning, Rock?
I'm doing great. How about you?
Good. Loving the temperatures.
Good voice, not a great voice.
Actually, I'm standing at West Lincoln Middle School watching their annual 5K race, doing a little recruiting here, boys and girls, I guess you could say. So pretty good turnout this morning. Some of my runners, boys and girls, did participate in the race. They're just now finishing up. So it's a good morning for cross country.
Now, okay, now let me ask you a little bit about that, Ray. Is that a school-sponsored event, and it's school age, or is it for anybody?
It's school-sponsored, but it's for anybody.
It's for anybody, okay.
Yeah, there's a 7-year-old girl running, and then there's some guys, and I guess the ladies in their 40s running this morning. So, it's open to anyone, and it's an annual event. And pretty good turnout, like I said. So good to see everybody out running this morning.
Well, the reason I asked if it was open to anybody, why aren't you running it?
I just had eye surgery.
You don't run with your eyes?
So I can't see very well this morning, so I did not run.
Totally understood.
Cataract surgery, Rick?
Totally.
Yeah, well,
Mike's taking a jab.
Mike.
Well, I'm got because I have to go in for it too soon. So.
Well, I've had both eyes, the cataract surgery, and now I had to go back and get them cleaned out. But now I think I'm going to have that perfect 20/20 vision, which I've always wanted.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, buddy, you captured the conference championship a few days ago, and I know you're proud of those girls. Talk a little bit about them.
Okay. Well, first of all, let me just mention my boys. They finished third, and I got 2 of them standing here with me this morning, Zach Sanders and Clint Turner. They both ran in the race this morning, but they were able to finish third in the conference. Had one all-conference guy, Evan Hartsoe, in that group. Congratulations to Bandy's boys, man. They're loaded. They're really good. East Burke boys are really good also, and they'll both be running in the regionals next week. As far as the girls go, West Lincoln girls, man, we only had 5 girls to run this year, and that's the minimum that you can have to play.
Mm-hmm.
I have 1 junior, 1 sophomore, and 3 freshmen who came together, and were actually able to put together a good, solid finish. And we went into basically the championship. We figured we could finish anywhere from 3rd to 1st, and we had a good run and finished first. We were led by a freshman, Chloe Compton. She finished fifth overall. Jillian Moyer, she's our junior. She finished 6th. And then 2 freshmen went 9 and 10, Abby Barkley and Adley Sutton. So those 4 runners made all conference. And then McKenna Hams was a 5th place runner. And her position was very important. She finished high enough to get us in that number 1 spot, and we came out on top. I think we were 12 points ahead of East Burke. So very excited for the girls. They really struggled early. We didn't even qualify in our first meet because we only had 4 runners, but they come on stronger and got that conference championship, and it was a big thrill for everybody.
And getting a conference championship, that should lead to more interest and more, maybe more numbers for you next year.
That's the big thing. I hope that will. There's runners here at this school that they do other things, cheerleading, that type of stuff. But yeah, I think the middle school girls that are running this morning have a big interest in coming out next year, and that'll be a big plus for us. The more the merrier, so to speak. But you got to have 5 to qualify, and that's what we had. So super proud of those girls, and hopefully they'll stay together. That's the big thing. We only, you're running 3 freshmen, a sophomore and a junior, so it's exciting for the future, so to speak.
Now, Rick, I'm going to ask you, I know you don't know as much about these, but you still have knowledge and follow them. You and I were texting the other day, and you was talking about West Lincoln's girls' athletics and how much it's turned and made a nice 180. That cross-country is not the only thing that they're having success in.
You know what? I'm telling you what, West Lincoln girls' athletics is having a super fall, so to speak. Tennis.
Conference champs.
Conference champs, regular season, and tournament champs. We have 2 girls playing today in the doubles at Gardner Webb, Chloe Norman and Bailey Huss. They won their 2 matches yesterday over C.D. Owen and Maiden. So they play today at 8:45. I can't remember exactly who they're playing, but they have automatically qualified for the state next week in Raleigh. I think it's at Apex. So tennis team has done really well. Etta Godfrey, Megan Cody, they were 2 of the singles on that team that were really, really good. Of course, golf is defending state champions, and they've already qualified for the state again this year. And then you throw in volleyball. Volleyball finished 3rd in the conference and picked up 14 wins this year, and they are playing in the state playoffs today. So, yeah, the girls have really had a fantastic fall here at West Lincoln.
Right. That's impressive. Now tell me what's next for your cross-country team.
Cross-country, next thing will be next Saturday. Of course, it'll be boys and girls. We'll run in the 2A West Regionals at Freedom High School. The boys will run at 9:30 and the girls will run at 10:30. And, of course, if anyone qualifies there, team-wise or individuals, they will run at the state championship the following Saturday at Kernersville. So got another week or 2 left of cross-country, and there'll be some great runners up at Freedom next week. The 3A and 2A run at the same location, so it'll be you'll see a lot of good runners up there.
What else you got?
Well, that's about it. Just, proud of things that are going on here at West. Of course, the football team won last night.
Mm-hmm.
Had a tough win, hard-fought win over Eastburg. Of course, I know y'all probably mentioned or going to mention, next week the final regular season between.
A lot of rivalry games next week.
Do what?
A lot of rivalry games next week.
Yeah, of course, Lincoln will be up here at West Lincoln, and I'm sure that'll be a close game. I guess that'll be 3rd place in the conference, won't it?
I haven't even looked, but that sounds about right because Bunker Hill, I think, may have sewed up 2nd last night.
So, yeah, if Bunker Hill won, they would have had 2nd place. Yep. Should be a big turnout next Friday night here at West Lincoln for that game.
Good deal. All right, my man. We appreciate it. And congratulations. And Lenny sends his congratulations. He sent me a message to tell you congratulations to you and the team for conference championship.
Lenny and I talked last Friday night, and I told him, I said, we have an opportunity to maybe win this thing. And, that came true. So, but Lenny's listening this morning. He always has some good insights and always has some good things to say about the show. So, appreciate you letting me on this morning, and I'm going to go out here and congratulate some of these guys who ran.
Good deal. Thank you.
All right.
All right.
Thank you. See you.
So yeah, he's proud of his girls, and West Lincoln girls athletics has really made a nice turn for
it'd be what would be something if they could continue that momentum, and like in women's basketball this winter, and then of course got softball next spring. But what a start for female athletics at West.
Yep.
And they're having a good fall overall.
One of their best years, yes, one of the best
football
years
teams, what are they, 6-3, 7-3, 6-3? 7, yeah. Is that right? No.
I think they're 7-2.
7-2.
I think they're 7-2.
Another solid year in football as well.
Yep, their losses.
Yeah, that's it.
Were
Maiden and Bunker Hill.
Maiden and Bunker, yeah. 7-2. A really good year. Yep, with 1 to go.
Mm-hmm.
Which is going to be, I'll tell you, next weekend.
Yeah.
holiday weekend. You got Halloween next
yeah.
weekend. You got
that's the backdrop.
You got on Friday night. You got all these rivalry games. Then Saturday for high school football is selection Saturday. I mean, it's Next 8 days is going to be 7-8 days is going to be a lot of fun. To keep up with and see what's going on.
It's the first time. We normally in a normal year we would probably go into November for the regular season, but 10 games. It ends in October.
That is exactly right. Of course, you'll have 6 weeks of playoffs. It'll still take you up to mid-December. So, looking forward to that as well. On Wednesday night, Appalachian came from 2 touchdowns down early to beat Coastal Carolina, 30-27. Mike Powell was there, in person.
Yeah,
enjoy it.
Are you kidding? For the first time since 2007 that App has knocked off a team ranked in the top 25, and
Michigan.
You know what happened in 2007, but the highest ranked team that App has ever beaten at the Rock in Boone, Chanticleers came in ranked 14. I was just so impressed the way App kept throwing haymakers. They got down 14-0. Mm-hmm. They didn't flinch. Tremendous game by the Appalachian quarterback. What was Shane? The Clemson, then Duke.
Bryce.
And
is that why can't I think of it right now?
What is his name?
Yeah.
Chase Bryce.
Chase Bryce.
Yeah.
That's it.
Bryce. Is that
anyway,
Mike's phone? What is that?
I don't know.
I'll try to make that go away soon. Who's calling me now? But anyway, yeah, he had over 300 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, and they were bombs. He did a heck of a job. I tell you, one of the plays that I really liked, David, in the game, I don't know whether – they were down 14-7. App was down 14-7, and they scored to make it down 14-7, and on the ensuing kickoff, they kick the onside kick and recover it. And I think that changed the momentum for the game. Beautifully executed onside kick, get the ball back, they score 14-all. And then from then on, the game is just a back-and-forth affair. The highly touted Coastal Carolina quarterback, who's only a sophomore, by the way. He's been getting a lot of national press. He had a good game.
With the mullet.
The mullet, yeah. But I thought in the fourth quarter it was Appalachian's defense that came up with some big stops.
Right.
Kept Coastal off the scoreboard. It was 27-all. And then App got the ball back and beautifully played the clock. Coastal was going to let, I think it was Cameron Peoples, one of the ASU running backs, was just going to let him score, so they would get the ball back down in the red zone. But he wisely took a knee. That ate up more time. Coastal ran out of timeouts, and, App played it down to the final 3 seconds and then set up a fairly easy but still highly pressurized field goal to win the game.
But there's not as much pressure when it's tied.
No.
As there is when you're behind. And,
and he knocked it right through. And I'd never seen it App quite like this. And
Mike sent me a great picture of it, too.
Yeah. Thousands.
Rushing the field.
I mean, all the student body, the student section, all the there was probably a couple thousand people on the hill, and they ran down on the stadium into the playing surface, and it was just pandemonium, joy, just a great post-game victory celebration.
And what I learned from Mike's synopsis of the game there was he has his ringer set on 150 rings before voicemail picks up. I thought that thing was going to ring to the end of the show. That thing just kept ringing.
It was like, well, how long is this thing?
There's a button on there you can hit stop.
Oh, well, first of all, who would call me during the show? I don't know.
Probably one of these scam artists.
Yeah.
that I could just see you talking to. I could see that happening.
I have a Google Assistant that screens
Google
all my
Assistant.
calls. It says, the person you are dialing is not available. Please use your
Mike
name.
has a Google Assistant. My first thought is, what does she look like?
And she will provide a transcript of your conversation.
That's awesome. Other games that happened on Thursday night, SMU beat you guys have got me convinced. Number 21 SMU, the Mustang powerhouse there, beat Tulane 55-26. It was Charlotte getting manhandled by Florida Atlantic 38-9, and they're moving to another conference they announced this week.
Yep.
And that is the one they're moving to. What? Give me some. You guys know?
Is that the Sun Belt?
No, it's not the Sun Belt.
It's AA something.
American. Is it American Athletic Conference?
And that is All American.
Yeah.
So All American Athletic Conference maybe, but yeah, that.
But I think Florida
is in
Atlantic is going with them.
Oh, going with them. Okay.
I think they're in the conference together, and they're both moving.
They probably hate that after that 38-9 drubbing on Thursday. Louisiana. Got all they wanted from Arkansas State, but Louisiana wins 28-27 on Thursday night, and San Jose State defeats UNLV 27-20 also on Thursday. Then
Do
last
you know
night,
the way to San Jose?
American Airlines.
Yeah,
I'd be about the only way I get out there. How about you? Or some airline anyway. Some airline anyway. Yes.
It's
Go
west of
young
here.
man.
Yeah.
Middle Tennessee and UConn played on Friday night. Middle Tennessee State 44-13 over Connecticut. Memphis falls to Central Florida 24-7. Utah State wins over Colorado State 26-24.
I heard there was some terrible clock management by Colorado State in this one. Had a chance to spike the ball to give their kicker a little more time than the special teams time to get out on the field for the winning field goal. But
what did they do? Take a knee?
No, it didn't do anything. Just let it run down, and they had to rush the field goal unit on the team and forced a quick kick, and he missed it. And it was third down. I mean, it wasn't their last down. Well, that's what I heard anyway.
Well, hey, it doesn't. Here's the thing with me and Friday night college football. I forget it's on.
I do too.
When I get home, I don't even think about it. It doesn't cross my mind. Last night I would have watched my baseball team lose anyway, but it just didn't cross my mind that these games. I don't know why. I got high school football on my mind when I get home, and it's just not a good night for college football. Friday nights are wrong for college football.
No, I've never liked it.
There was one Power 5 conference game last night. Washington defeated Arizona 21-16 last night, late on the West Coast. Probably could have watched that game in its entirety.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
When I got home.
Arizona's got to be in the running for worst Power 5 team in the country.
I'll take Vanderbilt in 20.
When was the last time Arizona fielded a competitive team? Yeah,
it's kind of sad, isn't it? I did want to go through those scores. Denny Hoover tells me that Charlotte is going to East Carolina's conference. That is where East Carolina is, and was it Brad or Mike just told me that Florida Atlantic is going?
Yeah,
6 teams going. Let's see here. Lenny says the AAC. I think 6 Conference USA teams are moving, and that's what Laney just said. 6 Conference USA teams moving.
I wonder if they're expecting some teams to leave that conference
to make some room, or
yeah. I mean, that's going to be. I would think that's going to be a lot of teams in there.
Yeah, and it pretty much just dissolves.
Which I think they are expecting a couple to go to the Big 12, like Cincinnati and Houston. Those teams are in that conference.
Oh, they are going to the Big 12. Those 4.
And Lenny also tells me I missed this one. A couple minutes ago. Houston, SMU,
Cincinnati. Is Cincinnati going to the Big 12?
And BYU.
Yeah, BYU.
So 3 teams from that conference are going to be leaving, and that's why they're adding 6 new teams.
Cincinnati should be in the Big 10.
Yeah, I don't like Cincinnati to the Big 12.
Yeah,
it's kind of weird, but now Houston and SMU, that makes sense.
Yes, absolutely.
Did you guys realize that Houston's still undefeated? Nobody even thinks about
Who?
it.
The Astros?
No, not the Astros.
Lenny also
this
sent
shows
me this a few
Houston
minutes
has a
ago.
loss.
Lenny said every time Pitt is on the cusp of doing something great, they find a way to lose, and that's them. They're very inconsistent, very inconsistent. So we'll see. We'll see.
This schedule shows Houston lost their first game to Texas Tech.
Scott said there's some teams moving to the Big 12, and that's what you guys were just talking about. Who we decide moving to the Big 12? BYU. Cincinnati. Houston.
And SMU.
And is it SMU?
I don't know. Is it? I didn't even know any of that was a sure thing.
I had heard it now. And then Denny says Central Florida, Cincinnati, and Houston. Central Florida to the Big 12. So one of those. I don't think SMU is one of them.
Maybe not. I don't. Yeah, I don't know.
Yep. Not sure exactly, but the ever-shifting conferences, and it will continue till the end of time. All right, time for us to take a break. We'll come back, look at NFL briefly, and then maybe the baseball just a touch, and move on to high school football in a moment.
Untangling your headphones, finding the right remote, saying goodbye to your favorite shirt that hasn't fit in 10 years. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who live in your community and answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like finding a new favorite shirt. That's simple human sense.
Call Mooney Insurance in Maiden or East Lincoln Insurance in Denver, or visit MooneyInsurance.com. Times convenience stores are more than convenient. They're your neighborhood store, your store. With locations in Lincoln, Catawba, Gaston, Iredell, and Mecklenburg counties, there's one near you. Times convenience stores have the right items at the right price, from snacks, cold drinks, and light meals from the grill, and there's always a special to save you time and money. Times has what you need. Times convenience stores, there's one near you. Regardless of where you're going, there's one on your way. Remember, there's always time to stop by Times. Have you thought about when you would like to retire? One of your major assets is planning for retirement is time, and you lose a little of it each day. The longer you wait to start accumulating capital for retirement, the harder it's going to be. How should you plan for retirement? Start by calculating approximately how much capital you will need at retirement, then estimate how much you will have to put away each year. Finally, carefully choose the investments in which you will invest. Stiefel Nicholas can assist you. Call Fort Rembert today at 828-624-7300. Stiefel Nicholas, member SIPC, and the New York Stock Exchange. First Federal Savings Bank has been serving Lincoln County since 1940. And as it has been from the beginning, customer service is a priority to First Federal Savings Bank. They want to get to know you by name. First Federal Savings Bank has the convenience, the products, and the services that the larger banks have, but with hometown people that you see throughout your community. Stop in and visit one of their 4 convenient locations and see what First Federal Savings Bank has to offer you. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Whether it's a sit-down meal or a call-in for the drive-thru, Brookwood Cafe and Catering is the answer. A variety of meats, vegetables, and desserts cooked daily, or a hot sandwich from the grill, they have what you're looking for to satisfy your taste buds. If you need catering from 5 to 500, Brookwood has you covered as well. Stop by Brookwood Cafe and Catering at 202 Providence Mill Road in Maiden. Don't forget breakfast daily till 11 a.m. Open Tuesday 6 a.m. to 2 p.m., Wednesday through Saturday 6 a.m. till 8 p.m., and Sunday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Call 828-428-8944 to place your order today.
Covenant Church began as a vision of just over 100 people in 1984. Since then, Covenant Church has grown and currently located at 2168 Gastonia Highway in Lincoln. The Sunday schedule includes early morning worship at 8:30, Sunday school at 9:45, and morning worship at 10:45. Their ministries extend beyond Sunday. Visit their website at www.covenantchurch.church to see all they have to offer, and better yet, stop by and see for yourself. Covenant Church may be just what you're looking for a new church home.
If you ask around, you'll find Burke Mortuary has a reputation for excellence and commitment to value. They've built a reputation of trust for more than 35 years. Burke Mortuary is proud to offer personal attention, meaningful tributes, and the area's most affordable prices. They're also proud to offer you beautiful, state-of-the-art facilities. It's the perfect place to honor your loved one. So when choosing a funeral home, the choice is easy. Choose Burke Mortuary with locations in Maiden and Newton.
In the best of times, no one is more deserving of every opportunity, encouragement, and support than the youth in our communities. Parents, teachers, coaches, and sponsors struggle to stretch their budgets to continue help. Communities need a team effort. Times Oil Corporation, a longtime member of the community, established the Times Educational Alliance Mission, or Team Foundation. Since 2011, over $125,000 in grants have been donated in the community. Times Oil and the Team Foundation are proud to be community partners.
Welcome back to Sports Talk. Just chatting with Mike there made me remember we always had this running to who's the tightest. Is it Mike Powell or is it Rick Mitchum?
I think it's been well established now
through
evidence.
Now, Rick's not here to defend his
Rick
case.
is the tightest.
Rick's not here to defend himself.
Well, the proof's in the pudding. He always gets a side salad. Post-game snacks.
But what made me think of that is I also wonder which one of the two stands in front of the mirror more.
That'd probably be me.
I don't know. Rick might show.
He stands there.
We'll see if Rick's listening.
What's he got? He certainly can't do anything with his hair. I mean, he's not putting any gel on it. I mean.
Man. I'm gonna text Rick and say you need to be listening. Mike Powell is hammering you.
And remember, he has a good voice, not a great voice.
Yeah. I saw you brought that up again. Yeah.
Good voice, not a great voice.
He does have a good voice. He's got a good deep voice.
Why do y'all call him the Rock?
That's a Walt Hefner thing.
That's a Walt Hefner thing.
He saw him play football.
It's just too long of a.
No,
but that's not why it is. That's not what it is.
Was he a wideout?
Tight end.
Tight end. Okay.
So he was tight then.
Hands of rock, hands of stone for a wideout.
That's what Laney said. He called him stone hands. Old stone hands.
That's one time you don't want.
We should not pick on the guy when he's not here to.
Well, no, that we're celebrating today.
Yeah.
I mean, the conference championship.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, that's a great accomplishment.
So you saying he's a better coach than he was player?
Oh, I'm just going on what Landy said about his hands of stone. He must be a better coach than he was a player.
Oh, Lord.
You talk about him to his face, so it's okay to talk about
him. He just laughs it off.
Yeah.
He just laughs it off. It's the way it ought to be. On Thursday night, the Cleveland Browns minus Baker Mayfield got a win over the Broncos 17-14. Wasn't a pretty game, but you know what? It's not about beauty. It's about wins in the NFL. And you got to give Dearness Johnson a lot of credit. This guy was been in the Browns organization, I think, for 2 years. Didn't get much of an opportunity. And with both, you guys are going to have to help me. Nick Chubb and
Kareem Hunt
both out, injured. This guy steps in, gets 160 total yards and a touchdown, and was the biggest reason they won
the game.
I mean,
now, don't get me wrong, the offensive line did a usual
but
good
he broke a lot of tackles.
He did, and he made some good cuts, breaking tackles. You're right.
Where's he out of?
South Florida.
Man, I wasn't expecting it that quick, but thank you, because I did not know.
I looked it up right as you were talking about him. Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yep, I just like to know. I like to know where guys like that are from because he is a name that I didn't recognize. And most of the time, I suppose most time you big time backs, your quarterbacks, your receivers,
don't
at least
come
those
out
skills. Well, you know them from college. You just know their names from college because they played at one of the top. And I'm not saying you said Central Florida, South Florida. So impressive. What he did
what was
there.
The backup quarterback's name he replaced?
Keenum.
Yeah,
he managed the game okay.
Yeah, well, and he's not your average backup either. He's got a lot of experience.
Yeah, he's a little bit more than your average backup.
Do you remember the Minnesota Miracle? Just
the pass to Diggs, to beat
Diggs.
New Orleans.
He threw that.
Yeah.
A lot of people forget that.
I did not know he
threw that.
He threw that. Okay.
He sure did.
He started a lot of games.
You know how I remember it? Because they showed it the other night before the game.
I did not remember it.
They showed it on the ESPN the other night.
Well, let me ask you
not
guys.
on ESPN, on Fox prior to the
Let
game.
me ask you guys this: based on that game, is Denver still looking for a quarterback post Peyton Manning? That's the way it appears to me. I mean, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
A real.
Yeah, and I thought you were going to say post John Elway, because a lot of times we forget Peyton Manning was there 4 years.
And he did win a Super
Bowl. He won a
Bowl.
Super Bowl.
I agree.
But
that wasn't his best year, but he still won a Super Bowl.
As much as I like, and his name slips my mind right
Teddy
now.
Bridgewater.
No, the head coach. The head coach. Help
Vince
me.
Fangio.
Vic Fangio.
Vic Fangio.
Vic Fangio. It's probably his last year in Denver.
Yeah. Yeah, could be.
He's a great defensive coach. He's another one of these defensive coaches that just may be better as the coordinator. But, they got off to a 3-0 start.
Another 3-4.
After 3 weeks, the teams that they were 3-0 against were 0-9.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
No.
The teams that they had beaten were 0-9. So it's only fitting that, now that they're playing some better competition, it's just not working out. And
their schedule kind of mirrors that of the Panthers this year.
Let's face it, in an NFL game, if you hold somebody to 17, you should win.
Yeah.
You should win. But they just have trouble generating offense. They just I don't know. Their offense is, and they have some talent. I'm not saying that, they have some talented receivers.
They do.
They really do have some talented receivers on that team. And of course, they're missing one of their better ones in Jerry Jeudy.
Yes.
But I just expect them to. You still got Cortland Sutton and Noah Fant at tight end, and But I don't know. I don't know what the answer is there. But it doesn't look like the Denver teams of old. That's for sure. They've gone from 3-0 to 3-4 in a 4-week span. Lost 4 straight now after the.
When's the last time Denver
start.
had a winning season?
I did see a tweet the other day that said, if it was from a Denver fan, they posted. They said, if we lose to Cleveland, can we leave Fangio there? So,
yeah.
I thought,
Yeah, he probably will be. If they continue to struggle and end up with a losing record and mediocrity, you're probably right about Fangio.
And I don't know if Bridgewater is the answer, and I don't know if Drew Lock is. I don't know. I don't know what they do. Let's face it. Nobody ever lived up to Dan Marino. Nobody ever going to live up to Elway. I mean, it's once in a lifetime type quarterbacks, and I don't know, some organizations like Green Bay. I mean, they've been one of the most fortunate organizations over the past years to have Favre and Rodgers. The Colts, the Colts went from Johnny Unitas back in the day to Peyton Manning, and then they went to
Andrew Luck.
Andrew Luck, but he kind of fizzled out. Now kind of look now where they are. Can you tell me who the Colts quarterback is?
Well, Carson Wentz. Last I heard.
Today.
But
I mean, it's just we know it's a hard position to fill.
Isn't it amazing of all the people walking the earth? It's hard to find 32 to do this job.
Yep, it is.
I mean, well.
Yeah, it is. There are a lot of people out there going through the motions.
Well,
But there's about 15 that are. Okay, we'll go half. I'll say 16 out of 32, and
that really
have
do.
franchise quarterbacks. And the rest are looking.
And sadly, I will not put Baker Mayfield.
And
in
you know
that
what?
class.
That's exactly the guy I was going. He's been in the news a lot and talking about will they make it? Will they sign him to a big contract? And a lot of people say, why do you have to sign him to a big contract? Because nobody else would pay him the mega millions to be their quarterback. So, but will he? Will he like? If you're Baker and Cleveland won't give you big money, you might say, well, you know what?
You test it. Yeah.
Well, no, but you might say, I'll just go play for them for the same money. Since I've done this for you for these amount of years, find you another one. I'll go over here to Team B, who's going to pay me the same, or maybe $1 million more a year, and see what I can do with them, and then leave you,
Well, I mean,
It reminds
what
me-
has he really done for them? And I'm a Baker fan. I mean, they beat Pittsburgh last year in the playoffs. I mean, that's sort of – and they had a pretty good year. Did they just win one playoff game, or is it –
Yeah, I think just one. But Okay, but that's one more than
One
they had
more than
won
everyone, yeah.
in a long time.
So he has something to build on to get that contract, but I don't know. I mean,
He's
It
the
reminds
first
me.
guy
It
been a
reminds
starter.
me of Kirk Cousins when he was in Washington.
yeah, that's right. Very
It's-
much so.
Yes, yeah.
You either got to pay him more than he's worth, or let him walk away and go somewhere else, and then you're back to not having a franchise quarterback.
Right.
And Washington decided to let Cousins go.
Well, they still don't have a franchise
No.
quarterback.
Speaking of quarterbacks, I want to mention this real quick because Lenny reminded me of something.
But I think they're pretty similar in talent.
Very much.
Cousins and
Yeah.
Mayfield.
Pretty much.
They're kind of
Which one
middle.
would you want if you had to choose one? Which one? Would
I
you
like
take?
Cousins a little better.
I do too.
Yeah, he don't seem to make as many mistakes.
Yeah.
you know. Lenny says there will still be teams in that conference like Memphis, ECU, SMU, Temple, Tulsa, Tulane, and so on. And then Lenny said, I think I remember you telling this last year, and I totally forgot about this, but I did tell this last year. The Coastal Carolina quarterback and his family are neighbors to Jay Hefner in Union County.
All right.
Jay Hefner. That's funny, isn't it? That
Yeah, quarterback went to Porter Ridge.
went to Porter Ridge. Yep.
I got to tell you, he's got a bright future. He's mobile, throws on the run, makes all the throws, good arm, good decision maker. He could be, a future draft pick. I would be shocked.
Real quick, and I mean real quick. Tomorrow at 1 o'clock, Washington at Green Bay, Kansas City at Tennessee. That's a good matchup all of a sudden.
Yeah, it is.
Tennessee, Tennessee bailed me out the other night. I had the Titans to win that game on Monday night against, help me, who was they?
Buffalo.
Against
Ooh, I
Buffalo,
gotta
and
make my
they pulled it
picks
out at
and
the end.
Lenny's.
Yeah, you already missed one then.
I know.
If you hadn't made them yet. Like
Gonna
Brett.
Gonna
Yep.
make them
Yep,
today.
I missed one
Gonna
this
make
week.
them.
And guess what? I picked it and I missed it, so you didn't fall any farther behind me. So. Falcons at Dolphins, Jets at Patriots. Panthers go to New York to take on the Giants. Bengals at the Ravens. That is a marquee matchup at 1 o'clock tomorrow. Bengals at Ravens. I would like the Bengals' chances better, I think, if they were at home in that. But I like the Ravens
Well, the Ravens are
being at home
maybe the
against
hottest
the
team in
Bengals, but,
football outside of Arizona right now.
yes, outside of Arizona.
And
Eagles,
Lamar Jackson is putting together another MVP-like
he is.
season.
He is. Yeah, it's like he's been challenged, and he is up to it. Eagles at Raiders. I think that's a big one for the Raiders playing at home. They can move to 5-2 post Gruden.
And let's don't forget, the Raiders still have aspirations, even though Gruden resigned.
Oh, I think they're in just as good of hands, and they're going to save a lot of money.
Well, yeah.
They're going to save $10 million a year. Lions at Rams. Poor Lions. They find there's something happens to them every single week, isn't there?
Yep.
I mean, I think that
This is the trade game, Stafford and Goff.
I think that if you're playing the Lions, you could send out a kicker with a broke leg and have to kick with the opposite leg and still would hit it and beat.
Are
them.
we
That's just
looking at
kinda what
0-16 for the
they've had.
Lions?
Nah, they'll
again?
win a game. There's too much talent there. They'll win a game somewhere.
Okay.
Texans at Cardinals. Cardinals should move to 7-0. Bears at Bucks. Colts at 49ers. Monday night, Saints and Seahawks. Saints had last week off. Seahawks are really, really, really banged up. Yep, they have been decimated by injuries, and one Russell Wilson.
Russell
being
Wilson
the key.
is that team pretty much.
He is.
Without him, they're not very good.
Yeah,
Right.
he is. And then a real quick note on the baseball. Brett had mentioned to me earlier that what was a 5 o'clock start for the Braves and the Dodgers today has now been moved to prime time since there's no Game 7 in the American League playoffs, and the Braves and the Dodgers will get underway tonight at
So
8.
what do you do tonight, David? I mean, just switch around. You got that game. You got the baseball.
I'd rather have all this than nothing.
Yeah, I'd rather have options than no options.
I'd rather have too many. You can say that. I'd rather have too many options than not enough.
Yeah, for me, it's going to be Dodgers and Braves on the TV, and then Notre Dame and Southern Cal
You being
be on my phone.
You being an Irish fan. Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be you need a John Madden room for days like this. John Madden has the 3 rows of 3 widescreens,
Well,
9
let me ask you this, Brett,
televisions.
any fear that USC might, put out a filler for Brian Kelly? I mean, I know that would be wild, but do you think he's solid at Notre Dame?
I don't think Brian Kelly leaves
Unless they
until Notre Dame's ready for him to leave.
Right.
Yeah, I probably agree with that. I think that is. I think it's been a good fit.
Oh,
Yeah, it
number
has.
one, and I think he enjoys it there.
Yeah, dude. Yeah,
I think he.
Yeah.
I
Now,
think
he has always said that was his dream job.
Right.
And I don't know. Southern Cal could offer him a lot of money. I don't. Notre Dame could match it. I don't.
Yeah, well, yeah. It's
I don't
not
know.
Like, it's not like Notre Dame can't, get in a bidding war.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's done a great job there. Now becoming the winningest all-time coach.
And I think they're having a better year than
A lot of people
I
thought.
expected, just
Given
because
the-
they lost so many guys
Yeah.
to the NFL.
Yeah.
They lost 15 guys to the NFL,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
they're still 5-1.
Yeah,
They're one loss to
not
Cincinnati.
Too shabby. Not too shabby. Come on, computer, don't let me down now. Let's. Yeah, I thought I was at home for a minute. The internet not working. Let's see. I pull up high school football and it gives me today. First thing you see is today's game, so I gotta get rolling here. We're gonna go through the scores, but first I'm gonna give you a quote real quick. I just got a text, and you can guess who it's from. Fantastic trip down 321 to Harris Smith Cloninger Battleground
Know
Memorial
who that
Stadium. Last night, as always, great hospitality with old dear friends. Best stadium view, good game, and of course a personal pound cake just for me. Now I don't know about that personal pound cake just for you because I had a slice of that. Pound
But
cake,
I
it
do
was
know
really
that
good,
he took 2 pieces with him when he left.
and I don't blame him. Thanks, Mama Cloninger. Top shelf as always. I'm a lucky old guy, and we were all like everybody that got to.
Oh, what a
eat,
feast last night. They had soup. They had chicken tenders from, I guess it was Fats.
I think so.
All
yeah.
kind of desserts. Banana pudding. I had some pudding.
Yeah, I had dipped one of my tenders into the sauce, and I said, "What is this?"
That's
and
pretty
somebody said, "That's fat sauce." So I said, "I don't need any of that. I'm fat enough."
Yeah, Fats.
I don't need any
in the
sauce.
restaurant.
Yeah, I don't need any sauce. It's gonna make me any fatter. I can't remember the other sauce. I guess was some kind of spicy honey mustard or whatever.
Yeah,
but it
something
was
like
good.
that.
But
Yeah.
seemed like the fat sauce might have been sweet.
No, it's pretty. It was pretty.
Throw
was
it out
strong.
there.
It was strong.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember. I don't want
Well, I have my standard
sweet on my chicken.
2
though.
city lunch hot dogs.
2 city
all
lunch
the
hot
way.
dogs,
Well, I heard they were also selling
sausage dogs.
bologna sandwiches.
Bologna
Yep, they do have
sandwiches,
bologna.
sausage
Sandwiches.
dogs down there. Yeah, they are.
But I can't go to that concession stand and not get
yeah,
the city
regular
lunch hot dogs.
Yeah.
You sound like Mr. Richard Smith, who I talked to the last couple.
Oh,
of
yeah.
I don't
times.
eat hot dogs very
And
often,
that's
but
what he said.
at Lincoln football games, I always
got
eat
to.
at least 2.
I told
Yeah.
him about the
City lunch
sausage
hot
dogs, and
dogs.
his words were, "I'm not gonna fix what's not broke."
Yeah.
Don't have to fix what's not broke. So he gets his like you. He likes the hot dogs as well. I love the hot dogs, but the sausage dog was very good too. I will say that. And,
Yeah.
we're giving them a good plug because they
well,
had some
unfortunately, that
tremendous-
was the
it
last
home game.
Last home game.
Yeah, that was
But,
senior night last night.
But it was
Don't have any seniors, but it was.
Tremendous.
But now what?
5.
Does West
I've
Lincoln
seen
still do the city lunch?
Yeah.
They were doing city lunch
they
hot
have
dogs.
Yep.
Yeah.
You get
So I
opportunity.
can get a couple
You
more
get
next
opportunity
week.
You
there,
can get
yep.
a couple more next week.
Yep, next Friday night, if we have time here as we roll through these, we'll talk about next week being rivalry.
Rivalry week.
Rivalry week.
Rivalry week.
Let's see. I looked this up. Clemson defeated Louisville. In that 2016 game we were talking about where Lamar Jackson and Louisville were favored to beat Clemson. Clemson won the game 42-36. So there's our answer. Thank you, Lenny, as to how that one turned out. Butch says, and of course, city lunch hot dogs for appetizers. Hey, I like it. Now, I ate mine I didn't get any last night, but I ate my city lunch hot dogs last week as dessert instead of appetizers because they came after my meal. But yeah, good crowd last night. Senior night at Lincoln.
Right.
Big win for Maiden. Good defensive battle for a long time, but Maiden just too much, a little too much for Lincoln. Lincoln had a couple opportunities. Down in the
They
red
lost.
zone.
They lost.
27-7. Let me throw the score out there real
They
quick.
couldn't sustain 2 drives that got inside the 20 of Maiden, and then
Mm-hmm.
they fumbled away an opportunity at the Maiden 12, all in the second half when it was still 21-7.
Right.
So they had their chances. In fact, I'm sort of gearing my story on the game to the fact that, in many ways, their game plan worked out. I mean, they had 2 long drives in the second half, kept the ball away from Maiden some. Yeah, they didn't give up a lot of big chunk plays. That touchdown was
The
just
first touchdown of the game.
That's it, a 36-yarder from Rhodes to what's his name, Culver. But after that, nothing until that sort of window dressing touchdown right at the end of the game, the long run by Gibbs. So really, Lincoln did some things they had to do, but as you say, couldn't cash in and give Maiden's defense credit for making.
Oh, they played a
stop.
tremendous game.
They did.
Now, we all know Lincoln has not been, lights out on offense this year. They haven't been.
They can't really throw.
Well, they topped at
successfully.
35, and that was last week. They scored 35 last week against East Burke team. So they haven't been scoring a lot of points. But and you felt like if Lincoln goes down like they did, 14-0 to Maiden, it's pretty much over. But like you said, they did hang in the game, and they did have some opportunities that they failed to cash in on. So I think they got most of their kids back next year. Of course, projections are they're going to make the playoffs. West and Lincoln both, no matter who wins that game next week, are projected to make the playoffs.
Yeah, I didn't know whether they had to win next week at West Lincoln to really have a shot, but you say.
Well, I haven't even looked at it. Brett has looked at it. A couple other people have looked at it and told me what it says, but I mean,
I think on the other hand, West Lincoln, I think they're in the playoffs. No matter what the outcome.
Yeah, they're 7-2. They're 7-2, and the worst they can do is 4-3 in conference, and the worst Lincoln can do is 4-3 in conference.
True.
And the thing is, the top 2 seeds seem to be set now, and that's 1 Maiden and 2 Bunker Hill, and everybody else is a wild card. So those 2 will go in as the 1 and the 2, and everything else.
Yeah, Maiden last night clinched the top spot.
Yes, because if they lose, the only team they'd be tied with is Bunker Hill, and they beat Bunker Hill.
They beat Bunker Hill.
Yep. Rodney Willis is awake, contrary to what you guys were saying during the break. I heard you saying Rodney sleeping this morning. I challenge anyone to produce better hot dogs than the City Lunch hot dogs. The best. The best is what he says about that.
The Bears. The best.
Got to get a Cushwa dog sometimes. It's the only
you
thing.
Like that,
only thing
Those
close.
Thomasville Bulldogs, the Cushwa Stadium Cushwa dog. Brett really likes those, and I can't remember. I probably ate one, but I can't remember.
Me either.
It's the red slaw. They got really good red slaw, and it's great.
It's been so long since I've been there.
You would expect red slaw with the Red Bulldogs.
Bulldogs,
of Thomasville, who have bounced back this year to have a good season. Just 1 loss, I think.
I think they lost last night.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
We'll get to that in a minute. Number 3, Louisville, led by Lamar Jackson. Number 5, Clemson, led by Deshaun Watson in that game that Lenny was telling us about in 2016. So, 2 pretty good, well, hopefully 2 pretty good pros there. Butch says, speaking of schedule, I love the CVAC conference. Great group to work with, plus the Kiever Corps. Helping scheduling, especially the rivalry finish. And that's what we were going to get into, that rivalry finish. The 2 Lincoln County teams are meeting. The Western Foothills has done the same thing, because you got North Lincoln playing East Lincoln and that's a big game.
And Statesville Hickory.
Statesville Hickory, those guys.
Both are big games.
North and East playing for a number 2 spot there. You got West and Lincoln hooking up next week. Newton Conover and Maiden hooking up next week. Bandy's and Bunker Hill, and West Caldwell and East Burke. And I did all that off the top of my head. You like that?
Yeah, I love those. I love those regular season finales. The rivalry aspect of those games.
Yep. And you know what's good about that is, even if teams are struggling toward the end of the season, those games are going to draw crowds. You're
still going to get a crowd.
Still going to have a good crowd.
If Bandy's didn't have so many injuries, I think Bandy's and Bunker Hill would have been a really competitive game.
Yep.
Bandy's has just had too many injuries.
Yep. I'm not going to. There's a stat that I'll share with you guys after. I'm not going to do it on the air, but it's just alarming. A stat I want to give you guys. North Lenoir, South Lenoir. You know what? We're not even going to start there. We're going to start West Rowan, following to Concord. Is Concord on their way back? You know, the Spiders have been down a few years, but it seems like
They're having a good year.
couple wins. Are they?
6-2. They
Okay.
lost their first 2.
How about that? 6 straight for the Concord Spiders, who really haven't been a factor since EZ that I remember since he stepped down.
And they got their big one next week.
I'm guessing that's A.L. Brown.
It is.
I'm guessing that's A.L. Brown, who has been above average, right? I think we'll get to them in a minute. I think they've been above average on the season. Not
not a great A.L. Brown team.
Right. Yep.
No, 4-5 actually.
Are they?
Yeah.
Okay. So right on average, right on the line. They can win next week and go 500. But hey, just by looking and just by information, I'll take the Spiders next week over the Wonders. That's 2 of the better names, isn't it? Nicknames in the Spiders and the Wonders.
Yeah, the Wonders are a great name.
Yeah.
And that's right up there as one of the best rivalries in the state.
Oh, yeah.
Right there with Richmond and Scotland,
Yes.
Shelby and Crest.
Yep. There's no doubt. No doubt. Butch says Cushwa dogs, second best dogs, yes, I've ever eaten. And I've eaten my share of hot dogs. That's how he ends it. I have eaten my share of hot dogs. He's making me want a hot dog. You guys are making me want a hot dog. Mallard Creek beat West Mac 40-7. You gonna have a hot dog for breakfast?
No, but I'm thinking about breakfast.
Here comes another one rolling in here. Scott says, I think Concord clinched the conference championship last night. So they may have. And I'm
bringing back the glory days of E.Z. Smith.
Yep. Coach Cloninger, Coach Parr, who is the coach at Concord these days? And I wonder how many they've gone through since EZ retired, since his days of retirement. West Forsyth beat R.J. Reynolds 46-7. Asheville. You know, I mentioned Asheville a couple weeks ago. They lost the first 2 games of the year, haven't lost since, right? Mm-hmm. Asheville last night over North Buncombe 48-6. This is a team that's really starting to make a turn, and you will not find a better setting anywhere for high school football. Have you seen the view? Have you ever been to Asheville to a game?
I've been. I haven't been to a game, but I've been to the stadium.
Oh my gosh, it is unbelievable.
I love their school.
Of course, last night they were on the road.
It looks like a college.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, it
does. Built on the side of a mountain.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Be prepared to climb if you go to a game there. I can't remember if you have to climb in or climb out. I think you have to climb going in. When you come out, it's all downhill, though, right? Charlotte Catholic over East Mac last night, 42-7.
Question, guys. Where does Charlotte Catholic stand in this new conference that they're in?
They're in second. But Butler's going to win the conference.
Butler beat them last week on the field and with the cheerleader sign.
They also won the banner sign.
The banner sign, yeah. I don't know. They may have actually lost.
The most political banner sign I've ever seen.
Yep. You may. Yeah, I would say so.
And that conference they play in, it's not very good. It's going to be those 2 teams just about every year. Yeah.
Well, we're going to get on down here, and I think Weddington may have lost last night. Whenever I scroll through these scores, that's one we always talk about as well that moved up to 4A this year. Porter Ridge beat Piedmont 56-0. Clinton over West Bladen 49-16.
The Dark Horses.
Always been one of your favorites.
Yep.
That's a great name. It really is. And I don't know of another team anywhere that has that name.
That's a great name.
East Forsyth 44, Glenn 38. East Forsyth challenged last night. Monroe over West Stanley 48-0. We're talking about a lot of teams in 2A football that we think are going to compete for this state title.
2A West is loaded.
Like the Shelbys and the Maidens and the Reedsvilles. But we're not talking about Monroe a lot. And they're quietly having a very good season. If I'm not mistaken, their only loss is to 3A Marvin Ridge, who's also having a good year, and that's not that bad a loss. But Monroe, I don't know. I think it's somebody we better watch out for a little bit because there's some other teams that are getting a lot more publicity right now, and Monroe's just kind of flying under the radar. At least around here, they seem to be flying around under the radar a little bit. Sanderson beat Leesville Road 17-14. I only give that one because Leesville Road was in a state title game a year ago. Isn't that right, Brett? We saw them, or it might have been 2 years ago now. I can't remember. When we saw
I can't
Leesville
either.
Road. We didn't see them play.
No, we didn't see them.
We were at the site they were going to play, I think it was. Of course, we visited 3 sites that day. Let's see what else we got here from the western side of the state. No score between South Rowan and East Rowan. North Lincoln rolled last night again, 50-0 last night over West Iredale. I'll go ahead and give you East Lincoln while we're here. They beat North Iredale 42-0. That sets up a big matchup next week at North Lincoln between the Mustangs and the Knights. And I'm telling you, that there's going to be a crowd there.
Yeah,
I mean, there's a lot on the line. There's a lot on the line. And you talking about two totally different styles of offense in this game, aren't you, Mike?
Oh, yeah.
Ground and pound
and
the air raid.
The air raid. They run the spread with Tyler Mizell, who apparently has come back like gangbusters from his arm injury and throwing the ball very well in the last 2 games at least. I saw him against St. Stephen's, but
you look at the guy's picture and he looks like Patrick Mahomes, and he kind of plays a little bit like him too.
Yeah.
Hey, I got a message about another good hot dog from around the state.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Edwin Barber from Lincoln, who does officiating now. He said the Dudley dog down in Greensboro is a good one.
If I'm ever down to Dudley.
Greensboro Dudley.
And he said he had A.L. Brown's game last night, and he said they're a little down this year.
Give us another one. Somebody, any listeners out there got good hot dog you want to a good hot dog you want to advertise? Throw it on there. We'll mention it. You know, we used to drive Sean Ballard crazy because it's had good hot dogs.
They did,
but we'd always say, "Man, you got the second best hot dogs in Lincoln." You know.
Well, what is their secret?
Who? Dario's, is that Newton?
Yeah, Dario's is in Mooresville.
Oh, they got great burgers.
I've taken my grandkids
Dario's.
there. They got this thing called the Monster Burger. Very good. You know about that, right?
I've had their burgers.
I'm surprised Mike Powell eat a Monster Burger, but
What makes them
My grandkids ate them.
toast the bun?
That's right.
toast the buns on their hot dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Dario's right beside Times there, where of course, one of Lanny's stores.
Okay.
Yeah.
I definitely have not had one from there, but
Yeah, pretty good.
yeah. We'll go ahead and while we got this, while we're talking hot dogs, who we got 26 minutes left. What's your best barbecue? What's your favorite barbecue? I know what mine is, but let's go through the scores and let people respond to that. What's your favorite barbecue? Give us your hot dog or your barbecue, one or the other. Which one's your favorite? Making me hungry. I may make a road trip today. Marvin Ridge over Sun Valley, 49-23. North Henderson falls to Inca, 22-19. Let's see. Green Level beat Green Hope. You think there was a lot of green in the stadium last night? Green Level beat Green Hope, 44-21. I hope the PA guy just referred to them as Hope and Level.
Yeah.
Roanoke Rapids. Wonder what the nicknames are of those teams. Roanoke Rapids, I'm not going to get that one. Garner fell to Cleveland last night. Garner pounded 50-21. Newbern 49, Greenville Conley nothing.
I think we've talked about this one before. Green Level Gators.
Yeah, we have. Yeah, that's a great name.
Yeah. Green Hope. Go ahead. It froze up on me.
Green Hope, I go ahead. I like it.
Falcons. Green Hope Falcons.
Green Hope Falcons. Chambers defeated West Charlotte last night 48-28 down in Mecklenburg County. We already gave East Lincoln over North Iredale. Let's see. AC Reynolds rolled over TC Roberson 56-0. Another team in Asheville that's come to life again and playing good football once again is AC Reynolds, the Rockets. Not many Rockets nicknames out there.
Not many.
For sports teams other than the one down in Houston. Pisgah beat East Henderson 28-14. Wake Forest over Rollsville last night 34-27. Got another question too. I got asked this last night and I couldn't answer it. How much money was given away last week at the Pisgah-Tuscola football game, which has always been one of the tops.
Should be a way to find out.
One of the tops. Let's see. Lenny says Red Bridges Barbecue is hands down my favorite. I think Red is the one on the bypass. Yeah, Red is the one on the bypass. Butch Parker said Dario's home of the Dario's home is the one in King, North Carolina. So that's where that's north of Winston-Salem.
Okay.
Also
Dario's. Yeah, they started out as just like a diner, and then they expanded and have multiple locations now.
And boy, I'm getting a menu here. I like this. Denny, not Lenny. Let me get these straight out. Denny says Bill's Hot Dogs in Greenville. That's and Denny's spending a lot of time in Greenville lately. And Parker's Barbecue, which we have ate at. Did you eat with me at Parker's Barbecue, the one you used down in Greenville?
I don't remember
I ate
that.
at Parker's Barbecue whenever the Legion tournament was down there a few years back. Yeah, it's really good barbecue. It's
all I know in that area is Smithfield.
He's got in Wilson, but and Greenville. So there's a Parker's in Wilson and Greenville. Smithfield's one of the best chain barbecues we've had.
But my favorite's Alston Bridges in Shelby.
And Denny says two of Julia's dad's favorite.
Alston Bridges.
Alston Bridges.
Yeah.
Well, my favorite barbecue is Lexington.
Yeah.
Mine's Lexington.
I think Lexington and Alston Bridges are very similar.
Lexington to me is number one. If I could just if I get to choose, I'm going to Lexington without a doubt.
Nobody going with the King, Barbecue King in Lexington?
I love Barbecue King. I do. I really do love it. But now
I eat burgers at Barbecue King.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
Yep. I like Hannah's. Yep. Hannah's. That's been a while since we had one here. Hannah's. It used to be a Gary's down in Harrisburg. That was pretty good. And
Gary's.
Yeah.
There's still one.
Yeah, it's there. Yeah. You sponsor a softball team. That's how I first learned about it. There's
Gary's,
a softball team, Gary's Barbecue.
Okay.
And
there's one down 150 near.
Nobody giving RO's
China
and
Grove
Gastonia any credit. How about RO's?
RO's is good. It's different. It is very different. It is fine. It's just chopped up very, very fine. There's no chunks. I like the chunks, but I like Lexington just because it's kind of got the vinegar sauce built in it.
Yeah.
But I love this comment right here, Scott Cloninger. When you're dealing with a little bit of high blood pressure, you look for the best smoked chicken.
That's true.
And that is Bridges Barbecue near the hospital. Hush Puppies, red slaw with it are the best.
That's my favorite one. That's Alston Bridges. Yeah. That's my favorite barbecue. I hadn't had the chicken.
Don't recommend a lot of barbecue. If
Lenny
you have,
says Gary's Barbecue is in China Grove. And
China
it's
Grove,
right there where you make the turn. You stop, and it's across the street at a little T intersection. That's how I remember it.
Hey, take them old school, Mike. Wayside Inn.
Wayside Inn, baby, out of Cherryville. No longer
Yeah, but we
around.
can't get that now.
Legendary Dwight Sweat.
We can't get that. I don't want to eat anything from a guy named Sweat.
Who challenged you to go in and order something from him and
Cuss
make
you
him
out.
cook. He'll cuss you
Not
out.
only did he sweat, but he cussed you when you ordered.
He sweated and cussed you
He
out.
cussed you, sweated, and took your money.
And took your money all at the same time.
That just sounds like a robbery.
Yeah, it was.
Carson defeated Central Cabarrus last night, 35-20. Mountain Island Charter 39. How far has this team fell? Winston-Salem Carver 0 last night. Carver, a one-time powerhouse, and 1A and 2A, and even way back in the day in 3A. Fuquay beat South Garner 36-7. It was Havelock 42, Northside Jacksonville 7, Providence and Garinger. It looks like a forfeit. I don't understand. It's got I don't know. We'll just skip that altogether and not try and figure it out. I want to mention this one, Chapel Hill, the female safety, the girl that's starting at safety is in Chapel Hill, 31-30 over Riverside Durham last night. It was North Edgecombe over Rocky Mount Prep 63-14. Rayburn Gap. The reason I bring them up, I've seen their name over and over.
Why don't they just move to North Carolina?
I know. They play all North Carolina.
Play.
And they usually win, though. And the reason I want to give it is they lost last night to Providence Day, 25-14. Mike Powell, Cape Fear, loses to Southview, 10-7.
Max Gady.
Couldn't get it done.
Is he on the hot seat?
Oh, yeah. Only produced one offense. Well, I don't even know if it's offensive. Only produced one touchdown. Ardrey Kell beat Olympic 13-12. How about this score? You don't see many of these. South Meck defeated Myers Park 3-0. 3-0. Is that not an upset?
Yeah,
that's an upset, isn't it? Somewhat of an upset.
Oh yeah, I think so.
Yeah. I didn't even really realize the upset because I was so interested in the 3-0 score. Do you want to see 49-48 or 3-0?
I don't want to see 3-0.
Yeah, I don't either.
I'd rather see 49-48.
Yeah, I think I would rather see 49-48 than 3-0.
I mean, I know you don't like high scoring.
But I will say this: if it's 3-0, buddy, you're on the edge of your seat. Don't ever play because if somebody ever breaks one,
you're also not seeing many big.
If my team's in it and it's 3-0, I'm okay with that. But if I'm just watching a game with where I don't have an interest in either team, I don't want to see a 3-0 game.
Statesville beat St. Stephen's 57-14. Statesville clinched the number 1 spot from the Western Foothills Conference last night with that win. East Duplin, this was a big game down east. Roger Cranford had informed me these two teams were playing. I said, well, I'll take Wallace Rose Hill, just knowing the history and all that kind of stuff, because East Duplin has had a problem getting over the hump. They always have a good team, but they just seemed like they couldn't win the big game. But last night they did. They went on the road at Wallace Rose Hill, 24-21, big win for them. Where did the Wallace Rose Hill running back wind up? Is he with the Jets or is he with
Denver?
Denver?
Yeah,
it's
Javonte Williams.
Yep. A really good running back for Carolina. Went there and played.
And supposedly they got another really good one now at Wallace Rose Hill.
Yep. Well, he didn't score more than 3 touchdowns last night. 24-21, East Duplin, a winner. Weddington, I was wrong. They won last night. Weddington beat Cuthbertson 28-13 in a rivalry game last night. Huff over West Cabarrus 52-3. Rocky River falls to Independence 26-0. Let's see. Give me some more West scores here. Hayesville beat Cherokee 36-30. No score from Polk County and Drone. Makes me wonder if that one's moved to a different night. Crest over Hunter Huss 57-6. Is it Crest Kings Mountain next week?
Yeah, that's the big one
for the championship.
For the championship.
Crest and Kings Mountain next week for the conference championship. Let's see. Ashbrook falls to Kings Mountain 51-0. So Kings Mountain and Crest both will be coming off of big time wins. I'm not saying they beat good teams. I'm just saying routes. Both coming off of routes last night in their games. Bunker Hill clinches the number 2 spot, 27-13 over Newton Conover last night in what sounds like a very competitive game. It was North Stokes falling to South Stokes 14-7. North Davidson over Central Davidson 52-28. Avery County falls to Owen. Owen the winner last night 32-26. J.M. Robinson, Brett has talked about them, that a lot of people weren't talking about them in the 2A either because they have dropped down to 2A this year. 54-7 last night over South Stanley, right? Am I right, Brett?
Yeah.
That they have dropped into the 2A.
I don't know that they've played great competition this year, but they do. I mean, they have a good record, and they are a team that dropped down from 3A to 2A. So they're going to be in the 2A West.
Where we're at right now, I'm gonna do something different here. We're going to take a timeout. I want to read the comments first, take a timeout, come back and finish the scoreboard. We're going to take one more timeout. Rodney says, Fat Buddy's Ribs and Barbecue in Franklin, North Carolina must have Fat Buddy's Pig out for 2. Fat Buddy's Pig out for 2. I love it.
2.
Jason Barber says, my brother Ed says the hot dogs at Dudley High in Greensboro are the closest thing to city lunch hot dogs that he has had. Lenny says, I think I saw the recent passing of Betty Lynn, a.k.a. Thelma Lou, and he's exactly right. That did happen this week, and she must have made some mean barbecue. Let's see what we got here. I got Butch Parker saying, last week was a busy week in the CVAC. Great competition in cross-country volleyball, tennis, plus a dose of men's soccer and football. By the way, who called the expected results of the Lincoln game last night? Yep, you know me. Butch is bragging on his. I didn't ever see a score that he gave me. He said he thought it would be a close contest, but I don't think I ever saw a score I
said 28-13.
But of course, he can tell me whatever he wants now, right?
Yeah.
He says Dario's home is in King, awesome for a chain. Ain't no better Q than Keith Smith and the King in Lincoln. And yes, we need to brag on our own on our own local, how good they do. And they've only been around 50 years now, because they just celebrated the anniversary. Don't leave out told you so comment above. He says me that because I did miss it. I get so many texts that they you know how they do, they push each other down and give you the most recent one when somebody sends you one. But yeah, a lot of feedback on the food, and I love it. We'll take a quick time out, come back and finish the scoreboard in a moment.
Have you thought about when you would like to retire? One of your major assets is planning for retirement is time, and you lose a little of it each day. The longer you wait to start accumulating capital for retirement, the harder it's going to be. How should you plan for retirement? Start by calculating approximately how much capital you will need at retirement, and then estimate how much you will have to put away each year. Finally, carefully choose the investments in which you will invest. Stiefel Nicholas can assist you. Call Ford Rembert today at 828-624-7300. Stiefel Nicholas, member SIPC, and the New York Stock Exchange. First Federal Savings Bank has been serving Lincoln County since 1940. And as it has been from the beginning, customer service is a priority to First Federal Savings Bank. They want to get to know you by name. First Federal Savings Bank has the convenience, the products, and the services that the larger banks have, but with hometown people that you see throughout your community. Stop in and visit one of their 4 convenient locations and see what First Federal Savings Bank has to offer you. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Whether it's a sit-down meal or a call-in for the drive-thru, Brookwood Cafe and Catering is the answer. A variety of meats, vegetables, and desserts cooked daily, or a hot sandwich from the grill, they have what you're looking for to satisfy your taste buds. If you need catering from 5 to 500, Brookwood has you covered as well. Stop by Brookwood Cafe and Catering at 202 Providence Mill Road in Maiden. Don't forget breakfast daily till 11 a.m. Open Tuesday 6 a.m. to 2 p.m., Wednesday through Saturday 6 a.m. till 8 p.m., and Sunday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Call 828-428-8944 to place your order today.
Covenant Church began as a vision of just over 100 people in 1984. Since then, Covenant Church has grown and currently located at 2168 Gastonia Highway in Lincoln. The Sunday schedule includes early morning worship at 8:30, Sunday school at 9:45, and morning worship at 10:45. Their ministries extend beyond Sunday. Visit their website at www.covenantchurch.church to see all they have to offer, and better yet, stop by and see for yourself. Covenant Church may be just what you're looking for a new church home.
If you ask around, you'll find Burke Mortuary has a reputation for excellence and commitment to value. They've built a reputation of trust for more than 35 years. Burke Mortuary is proud to offer personal attention, meaningful tributes, and the area's most affordable prices. They're also proud to offer you beautiful, state-of-the-art facilities. It's the perfect place to honor your loved one. So when choosing a funeral home, the choice is easy. Choose Burke Mortuary with locations in Maiden and Newton.
In the best of times, no one is more deserving of every opportunity, encouragement, and support than the youth in our communities. Parents, teachers, coaches, and sponsors struggle to stretch their budgets to continue help. Communities need a team effort. Times Oil Corporation, a longtime member of the community, established the Times Educational Alliance Mission, or Team Foundation. Since 2011, over $125,000 in grants have been donated in the community. Times Oil and the Team Foundation are proud to be community partners.
Welcome back to Sports Talk. Final segment of the show this morning. West Lincoln a winner last night over East Burke, 16-14. Hard-fought game last night. I think West came from behind.
Yeah, they were down 14-10
right
at the half.
14-10 at the half, come from behind to win that game. Moved to 7-2 on the season. West Lincoln – here, we've talked about who's playing for a playoff spot and that kind of thing. I think we're set that a lot of these teams in the CVAC are going to go to the playoffs. So 5, did we come up with 5 maybe?
As of right now, yeah.
We know Maiden, we know Bunker Hill, we know West Lincoln, and then possibly Lincoln and Newton. Will get in. I'll get in the playoffs. But I think for West Lincoln next week, they may be playing for a home game.
Yeah.
The game against Lincoln could be for a home game for them.
5-2. Yeah.
If they win, they're likely to get a home game and be in the top 16 or 30, whatever it is.
16.
Yeah.
And the home game is a nice
And if they
benefit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Beat South Point.
Beat South Point.
A couple years ago. But says, speaking of food, guess I'll run by Brookwood for a bite before Maiden. It scared me at first. Before the Maiden basketball golf tournament. Let's get all that in. Now, which are they playing?
Does that mean we have to set aside an
Rough
extra
life.
plate?
When's the Maiden golf basketball tournament?
That's it.
I want to play in that.
Brett wants to play in the Maiden golf basketball tournament and not the Maiden basketball golf tournament. That's going to be interesting, though, if they're having a basketball golf tournament. Put that together. How would that look? Go for the slam dunk and then putt. As soon as you dunk, you gotta putt. Watauga beat Freedom last night. Did you guys see this? It's the first time I saw this score.
Yeah, I just saw it.
41-0. Watauga over
And
Freedom. 41-0.
every time Watauga has one of these wins, doesn't that bump Maiden's
Oh, yes.
max prep
It has to.
ranking up a little bit?
It should. It should. And I tell you, Watauga's been lights out since their quarterback come back.
Yeah.
They haven't lost, have they, since they got him back? Reedsville rolled over McMichael 43-7. Let's see, no score for Bush and North Wilkes. High Brighton and Alexander Central, highly contested game last night. High Brighton wins at home 21-19. Hickory Ridge over Cox Mill 28-17. Mooresville over A.L. Brown 14-6. Ledford over Ashboro 42-7. Pine Lake Prep over Lake Norman Charter 32-15. Chase, supposedly last night, Chase had a running back that was going to break the county record for single season. He needed 6 yards to go over 2,000, and he was going to.
2,000.
Yeah,
Wow.
he was going to break the single season.
No, that's
You know,
elite. 2,000 yards
Yep.
in the high school season.
Yeah, well,
And that's just in his
10
ninth
games.
game,
and,
right?
and then
Wow,
he did it in
9
9.
games.
Yeah, and I was.
And a lot of guys before got to play 11 games.
11 games.
Regular
Yep,
season.
That's right.
He must be
That's right.
averaging.
Oh, here we go. Look, yeah.
Well, no, that math is too hard for me.
Over 200.
Mike Page, I say he's averaging 400 yards a game.
I give up.
Chase 52-8 last night over Patton, and Chase is what, something and one on the season? Just one loss, I think, maybe on the season for the Trojans this year. Northmore 49, Graham 20. Lake Norman over South Iredale 25-14. Robbinsville beats Andrews 21-14. Starmount 35, Allegheny 22. Hendersonville over Brevard. Hendersonville is another team in 2A that we're not talking a lot about.
They score a lot of
Do
points.
you remember they eliminated
Yeah.
the Golden Lions a year ago?
They certainly
It was
did.
Hendersonville that knocked out Shelby a year ago, so do
Second
not
round.
overlook the
That's right.
Bearcats, another one of the better names.
did.
Another one of the better nicknames. 59-19 last night over Brevard. South Caldwell rolls over Ashe County 51-6. Another school not far from here that's quietly having a really good season is South Caldwell.
Mm-hmm.
And you mentioned Chase only having that one loss. It was to Hendersonville.
Was it?
And it was 42-9.
Yeah, that tells you how good Hendersonville is. Look out for them. Maiden, we already mentioned, beat Lincoln 27-7. South Point narrowly escapes at Forest View last night. South Point wins 17-14 in a defensive battle. Burns over Cherryville 47-0 last night in Rudisill Stadium. West Henderson defeats Franklin 40-34. Mount Pleasant over North Stanley. No, I'm sorry. North Stanley wins that game over Mount Pleasant 21-18. North Surrey over Surrey Central 28-14. Scotland falls to Lee County. Scotland's 3A now, right?
Yeah.
So that means I don't know about Lee County, but I'm guessing they may be all 3A conference, or it could be a combined conference. Not sure. Lee wins 38-31. Oak Grove 44, Montgomery Central nothing. Walkertown over Eden Moorhead 51-13. South Davidson falls to West Davidson 20-12.
Walkertown played Moorhead? Is that not a 4-hour plus trip?
No. What are you thinking about? Not Moorhead City.
Oh, they're not in Moorhead
No,
City.
Moorhead
Okay.
is,
No,
up
Moorhead.
next to Virginia.
Okay.
Eden Moorhead.
That is the school that beat Lincoln in the 3A basketball
Yeah,
championship.
that's right.
A long time ago.
1993, right?
I think so, yeah. Yes. We already mentioned a couple of those scores. Let's see if we got anything else here. Mountain Heritage rolled over Madison 49-14. Kramer beat North Gaston. It don't show the score here. It says they're still playing, and it's in the third quarter. But it does. It says live, third quarter. Kramer. I think I saw Kramer won, right? You guys remember seeing
I never
that?
saw a score.
Did you
Never
not?
saw a
Well,
score.
Maybe I dreamed that. Maybe it's because I picked it. Mount Airy defeated Elkin 49-0. Tuscola falls to Smoky Mountain. That's a big win for Smoky Mountain. A 21-point win, 35-14. High Point Central over Atkins 16-6. North Forsyth over West Stokes 27-9. Grimsley over Page. Battle of Greensboro 52-22. Grimsley a winner last night. All of a sudden, the Whirlies have become pretty strong in football, high school football. Northern Guilford over Western Guilford 51-0. East Davidson over Thomasville. Brett had mentioned he thought Thomasville took a loss last night. He's exactly right, 28-21 at home. That's just their second loss on the season, maybe. Murphy beat Swain 28-21. That's a game I'd like to go to one time.
That's
when
always
Murphy plays Swain.
Always a good.
Yeah,
two good teams.
Two good teams, rivalry.
By the way, that Chase running back, Marquise McCombs.
Yeah, getting a message from Lenny.
He's a junior, and he did go over 2,000 last night. Yep. He's at 2,070.
Which means they held him in check last night because
only
110.
Only 110 last night.
Okay.
Which they didn't need him. They didn't need him to do too much, but
averaging 230 per game.
230 a game.
Now, who did that math for you, Rodney?
27 touchdowns.
Did you have Mike Powell do that math for you? Let's see. Yeah, and Lenny says the same things. Marcus McCombs Jr. at Chase. So, yep, we'll be back there next year. Well, this day and time you never know, but we assume he'll be back there next year.
Oh, don't assume anything
I know.
today.
Yeah, back there running for the Chase.
It could be a grad transfer.
Yeah, he's not in the portal yet, though. We know it, not in the portal at this time. Eastern Randolph 60, Wheatmore nothing. Randleman 25, Trinity 14. Southeast Guilford 17, Northwest Guilford 15. Those schools are on opposite ends of the county. I'm guessing. Bandy's with the win last night on the road. They finally get they had lost several in a row after the starting 2-0, but they win last night at West Caldwell 37-26. Good to see the Trojans back in the win column. Shelby rolled over East Gaston. It's not on my scoreboard here, but does anybody know what it was? I know they won
62-28 or 22. I think it was 62-28.
62-28.
And don't see anything on Thomas Jefferson and Highland Tech.
No,
I never saw that score.
Mitchell defeated Rosman 42-0, and Dudley. Speaking of the hot dogs, the Dudley Hot Dogs 59-6 last night over Southern Guilford. Biggest surprise of Friday night. Got one? Anybody?
I think it kind of played out pretty much according to form.
Nothing really stands out to me, really, as either an upset or a spread. Somebody manhandling somebody I wouldn't expect. I mean,
no,
it just. I'm like you, Mike. I think it's just kind of.
Which just
not an average night. I don't want to call it an average night, but it's there's just no real surprises on the scoreboard.
What it does set up, though, is a prelude for what should be a
Rivalry Friday.
Exciting Rivalry Friday.
Yeah. Rivalry Friday coming up next week.
Those games just busting out everywhere.
Yeah.
Shelby, Burns, Crest, Kings Mountain over there, and then
over there,
and then of course we got West
Lincoln,
and East Lincoln, North Lincoln, Maiden, Newton, Conover.
Yeah, and the list goes on. The list I'm guessing that most conferences did this kind of setup for realignment, which would make a lot of sense. It may not be what would be the biggest game in the league, but county rivals are playing against each other for the most part. Here I get a message that says the running back I think has already transferred from East Rutherford to Macomb. Now, Macomb, and my question would be, did he transfer before East Rutherford?
Yeah,
canceled their season because of lack of players, or not. I don't know. Don't know the answer to that. My guess is before. If I had to guess, because I think there was a lot of players transferred. They have open enrollment in Rutherford County, and so I think when they transferred out, it's just they realized they couldn't have a varsity season. Somebody asked me last night, why haven't I not seen East Rutherford? Do you know what's going on with them? I think it was Trey McAllister. Was that right, Brett? Didn't he ask me that? And I said, yeah. I said they don't have a varsity team this year. They didn't have enough
I would
players
assume it's going to be interesting to watch them, but they're going to make every effort in the world
to keep them at home.
And to have a varsity team next year, to have a legitimate team back.
Yeah.
Hope they can.
Yeah. I do too, because you know what? It's not like they were a football program that was
I mean,
It's not like they have a poor football program.
No.
They're one, you know.
Not at all.
I mean, I'd be willing to say over the history they are the best in Rutherford County, right? More wins. I would have to guess they have more wins than RS and Chase.
It's just a matter
time.
of numbers, right? Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
One thing from last night, guys. You know, it was senior night, and I remember there's a kid named Lynch on Lincoln's team. He's a senior. And I remember when they came out for the announcements, with the parents came out. Neon Dion Lynch. Remember him?
Right? Yeah.
Father of one of Lincoln's players. I remember when he was the quarterback of the Wolves in '91. I think they played Kannapolis in the playoffs that year. But Neon Lynch. We called him Neon Dion.
One more comment. Lenny says he's not sure when that kid transferred that went to Chase from East Rutherford. And Lenny says the Whirlies, that's those Grimsley Whirlies, have the #1 football player in the state, number 9 in the nation, Travis Shaw. We'll have to look him up and check him out.
What position?
He didn't say.
Okay.
What does he play, Lenny? Travis Shaw.
I think he pinch hit for the Red Sox last night, didn't he, Travis Shaw?
He's all around. Well,
he's
no,
everywhere.
he's not. I bet he didn't get a hit.
No, because it was 5-0.
I bet he didn't get a hit because Boston didn't get
No,
any
he was the one
in
that
game.
struck out on the double play. Where the runner got caught still in second.
Oh, wow. Yep. Crazy move there. Hey, we thank you for tuning in. Lenny says that Travis Shaw is a defensive end. You know, with that name, I was going to guess a cornerback.
I was thinking
or
defense.
a running back, but he said that he is a defensive end. North Carolina's had a lot. The state of North Carolina's produced a lot of really good defensive ends, some of which that are in the NFL right now playing. So, good for him. Good for him. Appreciate all the input this morning. Y'all have made me hungry. That's for sure with all the food talk this morning.
If you don't go to breakfast today, something is terribly wrong.
For Brett and Mike, I'm David. See you next week on Sports Talk.